Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Pepe and I'm here to give you an intuitive reading with the help of the tarot, ancestors, guides, the divine. Please speak to us through these cards and tell us what we need to know in this moment and in the future. Please and thank you. So, we shuffle. Okay. So we have the Six of Swords coming in sideways. It's raining heavily where I'm at. It's raining cats and dogs where I'm at. They've taken the lights. So, too many cards, spirit, too many cards. I'm going to try to increase my voice so you guys can hear me. Wow. We have the Hangman. It's windy here where I'm at. It's crazy, but you know, I like to see everything as a sign. See, the tower in reverse, it just came and it kept itself here. Amazing. Woo! I like to see everything as a sign. Everything. The rain coming in at this moment. This is the second time I'm trying to do this reading. I had already shuffled and gotten out a spread of cards, okay? I'd gotten out a spread of cards and my neighbor came in knocking, calls came in, distracting this reading, and I said to myself, you know what, I'm going to start this reading back and I'm going to put my phone on flight mode, which is what I did, and I'm here. It's funny because I actually waited for the rain to be over before I do this reading. And it was quieter the first time, but now that I've started this reading again, the rain has become so heavy. If this isn't confirmation from spirit, then I don't know what is. So we're gonna take one last shuffle. The High Priestess. We're gonna take one last shuffle and stop when spirit asks us to stop. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. Please and thank you, spirits. So, I said one last shuffle and stop. At the bottom of the deck, we have Three of Pentacles. So now, the first card, starting from the first card, we have the Six of Swords. In the tarot, the Six of Swords stands for transition, leaving behind, moving on. Reversed or sideways, it's emotional baggage, unresolved issues, and resisting transition. That's what the Six of Swords stands for. And following it right after, we have the Page of Swords. Look, just today I was outside with my neighbors. I went out to get fuel because we've not had electricity where we stay. And we began having conversations, and someone said to me, if you don't have kids, who will take care of you in old age? And immediately I got upset. I got upset and I lashed out at her and I said, why do you always do that? People have kids for selfish reasons. People have kids for one of the most craziest reasons ever. I think I should get my mic. Hold on, guys. I decided to connect to my headset and yes, we're back. So this is the second reading and There are so many things that have just been distracting in this reading, but I say to myself, I must do this reading. So now, because I'm new to this, I always use my book that just gives me the general overview or meaning of each card. Then I speak on it intuitively. But you know what? I've decided that I'm just going to continue speaking. And while I was going around to creating the container for this reading, I couldn't find this book where I wrote like the title of each card. I was like, Spirit, what are you telling me to do? Are you asking me to, because the book is like my clutch. I have to go and look, what does the page of swords stand for in the tarot, blah blah blah. But I have decided right now, in this instance, that I am going to intuitively interpret the energy as it comes. Because remember, we said that the tarot is just a tool to help us, interpret energies and hear what spirit is trying to say to us. And in the first reading that I started, that I cancelled, the swords was what began it. And in this reading, air energy, mental. So I am speaking to a collective of people that are mental and intellectual, and this Six of Swords here. Oh my god, I'm back, guys. So many distractions in this reading, and that tells me one thing. It tells me that I am supposed to do this reading. So it's raining heavily, and where I'm living at, people, they are suffering from flood, and they came to check on me to ask if the flood has gotten into my room. But so far so good, no flood. And it's funny because I'm sitting on the floor to do this reading, and I shall do this reading. So like I said, when I shuffled the previous spread, it started out with the Knight of Swords. So I'm speaking to a collective that are intellectuals, that operates in the air energy. And right here we have the Six of Swords. You can see in the upright, this is somebody, you can see the woman she has this thing over her head, and it's like she's walking away from what no longer serves her. She's like the picture on this card it shows like somebody that has decided, you know what, I am saying goodbye to this uncomfortable situation. I don't care if I have to lose my problem. I don't care what I have to lose. I don't care what I have to give up. I am choosing myself and my love and my little child over whatever it is that is trying to hold me down in that situation. And because I have myself, I have love, I can move forward. But this time the card came in the reverse. So once it's in the reverse, we know it's the opposite. There's somebody that is resisting change. There's somebody that overthinks. You intellectualize a lot. You live so much in your logic that you are neglecting your intuition, your heart space. There is no light, so all the candles have come out to play. I'm coming, guys. You live so much in your head that instead of you to go with your intuition and let go of whatever investment, let go of whatever blood, sweat and tears you feel you have invested in, you are logicizing it, you are over intellectualizing it, and it's keeping you stuck because you are resisting change. Maybe you are telling yourself, oh, the devil I know is better than the angel I don't know. Maybe this semblance of comfort that I seem to have right now at this moment, who knows what is out there in the open, in the wild? Why don't I stick? But what you don't know is that if you let go of this overthinking, you unlock your curiosity. Because the only way And that's one of the things that people take for granted. For those of us that come from the Christian background, there's a part that Christ said, allow the kids to come to me, because the only way you can get into the kingdom of God is if you have a childlike mind. And this is what the Page of Swords stands for. This is what the Page of Swords stands for. You have to allow your childlike minds to come to play. You have to connect to your inner child. You have to be able to think like a child again. You have to be able to awaken that curiosity. So instead of you saying, hey, if I leave this my so-called blood, sweat and tears, and another person comes to gain, another person comes to enjoy what I have built, even knowing that the situation is not good for you, even when your heart and your intuition has told you we need to live. Instead, Spirit is urging you to adopt a childlike mind. You should awaken your curiosity. Instead of saying, oh, I don't know what is there, it's better I stay there. Instead, it should be, wow, what is over there? I should go and see. What is over there? I should go and see. Wow, it's a great big world, and I want to see that great big world. And once you activate this curiosity, what comes in next? The Hanged Man. Contemplation, thinking, taking a bird's eye view of the situation and having a perspective change. Taking a bird's eye view of the situation and having a perspective change. That is the next step in your journey. Because sometimes it takes you leaving your city. Sometimes it takes you leaving the familiar. Sometimes it takes you leaving the known. It takes you stepping out of your situation, looking at your situation from outside, for you to see it for what it is, for the truth to be obvious to you, for you to have a perspective change. And once you have done that, we have here the Six of Pentacles: hard work, diligence, consistency. If only you are bold enough to take the leap. Activate your childlike wonder, your curiosity, and then you stumble upon a perspective change that enables you to be diligent in your work and in your service, that gives you the strength and the grace and the opportunity for you to be consistent in your work, in what it is that you do. And I mean, this is such a beautiful spread. I can tell you. The Tower in reverse. So you dodge a bullet. You dodge a bullet. You dodge a bullet. You summon up the courage to live. And instead of moving with fear and English fails me, and doubts, you activate your curiosity. You have a change of mind, a different perspective, and you work hard and you're consistent and you're diligent. And what does that do? You avert a tower moment. You dodge a bullet. What should have exploded on your head if you had stayed in this energy? You find out that because you followed your intuition and came out of your logic, of your ego, you realize that, oh wow, I dodged a bullet. And because you dodged that bullet, what do we have? The sun, the brightest card in the tarot deck. I hear people say that. I hear other readers say, oh, the sun is the brightest deck in the tarot. I mean, though the sorrow may last for the night, but joy comes in the morning. I'm trading my sorrows, I'm trading my pain. I don't know why, but this song just came to mind. I mean, this is quite self-explanatory. I believe that I don't even need to speak so much. Oh, sorry guys. this reading is as chaotic as they come. I mean, but it's me. I mean, for every creation, there is a character trait of the creator in it. And you see the sun. You dodge a bullet, you come out at the other side. You overcome your doubts, you overcome your fears, you adopt curiosity, you come out on the other side. You come out into the sun, because guess what? The only way out is through. The only way out is through. And I don't know what anybody must have told you, but there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And that brings us to the Six of Pentacles. You are celebrated. A job well done. A job well done. You are celebrated. There's this garland on his head. The garland on the wand. People, look at the card. He's on the horse. People are hailing him, celebrating him, because he had gone out to fight. He had gone out to uphold the virtue of the community. You had gone out to fight. You had thrown yourself into the deep, into the wild. You had thrown yourself into the unknown. You have faced your shadows. You have, without guilt, allowed yourself to have a change of mind, a change of perspective. You have refused to allow yourself to be stuck. You have done the work. And so, you are being celebrated for that. And when I pick up this card, the song that comes to my mind is, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. La 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 la. Ooh, I'm enjoying myself a little bit too much in this reading, but I love it. The strength card, because guess what? What doesn't kill you? What doesn't kill you? This destruction, this disruption that you averted, it makes you stronger. When we face our shadows, when we allow ourselves jump into the unknown, when we throw ourselves in there, because the question is not if I jump over the cliff, where's the safety net? Where's the safety net? But you will never know except you jump. And when you have jumped, you come out stronger, wiser. You come out armed with tools to be able to trudge through this journey of life. And you see, another thing that I noticed in this strength card is this infinity symbol. And this symbol, another place that I've seen this symbol on the tarot is in the magician's card. So you are not only stronger, you are an alchemist. You are a transmutator. If there's any English like that, you learn how to transmute energies. You alchemize pain into gold, into joy. You know now how to look at the bright sides of things. Now you understand that things don't happen to you, they happen for you. Ha! Somebody shout grace, celebrate grace, shout power, power. Before I continue, I have to put out a disclaimer. I am not a Christian, but I have a Christian upbringing, so you would realize that I draw my comments and things from that. And guess what? The world. Completion. Oh my goodness. You see, when I started dabbling into the tarot and I found out about the tarot and I began to read on the tarot, one of the things that I was meant to understand is that the tarot, it's a story. It tells the story of a journey from the full till the end, And if this isn't a story, I don't know what is. If this isn't a story, I don't know what is. Because check out this card on your own. Check out this card. The world, completion, the end of a cycle, or the completion of a loop. because you have allowed yourself to take the risk. And instead of functioning in your old ways, the way you would normally function, you allowed yourself, you activated your curiosity, and you allowed yourself to look at life, your situation, the world from a very different perspective. And completion. I don't even want to say much because this is pretty self-explanatory. And then, right after the world card is the King of Pentacles. Stability. Stability in all areas and every aspect of your life. See how you started this journey. See how you started this journey. Take a look at it. Take a very good look at it. This was how the journey started. And look at where you are at. If this isn't a miracle, I don't know what is. If this isn't a miracle, I don't know what is. And what is the miracle? The miracle is you taking a chance on yourself, believing in yourself. As hard as it seemed, as heavy as your heart was, with all the pain, all the trauma, with all the limiting beliefs, with all the so-called obligations to people that are not aware, you took a chance on yourself. You believed in yourself, which is one of the greatest miracles. And this is it. This is where you're at. I don't know why, but this point just gets me so emotional. It just gets me so emotional because this is a clear representation of what so many of us are going through and have had to go through. I, for one, me talking to you right now, it's almost like this feels like a personal reading. It feels like the cards are speaking directly to me. The stability that we all crave for. And not just stability in financial aspect, but in your health. All aspects of your life. And you see, the beautiful thing about these experiences is that I always say to my kid brother that there's a saying here in my country that the end justifies the means. And I always say to my kid brother and anybody that cares to listen that the end for me doesn't justify the means. The means justifies the end. It's not the other way round. And what do I mean by that? The means is more important than anything. Because the means is your character development. And that is why you see some people come into some abundance and blessing, but they cannot maintain it, they cannot sustain it, they cannot uphold it because they did not go through the means, the character development, the things that they needed to learn along their way for them to be able to sustain the stability, the abundance is missing. The journey is very important. As you go through life, my lovelies, my beautiful gentlemen and my awesome ladies, you have to understand that the journey is very important, because the journey is what sharpens your intuition and helps you to be able to sustain your wish fulfillment, your stability, your abundance, your health, your family, your success. And at the bottom of the deck, to close out this reading, we have the Three of Pentacles, community, collaboration, happiness. happiness. So once you allow yourself to walk through the valley of the shadow of death, trusting in your intuition, keeping your ego and the logic aside, but trusting in your intuition and your heart, and you allow yourself to walk through that valley of the shadow of death, fearing no evil, even when you are also afraid of the evil, you burst out on the other side. Now you know yourself. Now you are stronger. You are not only stronger, but you are wiser. And because you are wiser, then I will turn my camera this way so you see something that just happened. You are not only wiser, but then you are able to come back into society again, to come back into mixing, to relate, to collaborate, to share what you have learned, because the purpose of us having gifts is to share. We are not supposed to hold our gifts to ourselves. And the card just tilted like this, my hand touched it, and right under the card we have the Lovers and the Three of Cups. This is such a beautiful reading, considering the fact that I had so many distractions, and I had to start, and I told myself, no, I must do this reading, because I know there's a message that is supposed to go out there, but somehow I love you. Once again, I'm Pepe. I'm new to this thing. Stick with me. And trust your intuition, just as I decided to trust my intuition today. Till I come your way next time. I love you. Bye.